Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christian Encouragement and Prosperity. Today's topic will be Make America Nice Again. I know it's stealing the whole Trump thing, Make America Great Again, but I think making America nice again is a much needed thing right now. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like at least the people I know, the people I interact with in my public area, they just aren't as nice as I remember them, years back. I think people, they've become jaded because of the news, because of politics, because of just overall less people going to church, participating in religious activities, all that stuff. I just think that people are just becoming so introverted. They're so, it's about them. It's about social media. It's about their cell phones. It's just, we're losing the idea of just kindness in this country. And we need to change it. I want to share a specific verse with you, or set of verses from the Bible. Am I having trouble? I'm sorry. I was having some technical difficulties there. But from Ephesians 4:31 through 32, it says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ also has forgiven you." Christians need to start a chain reaction of making America nice again. I think it begins with us. I think it becomes with, it starts with Christianity. It starts with believers. It is our duty to be kind and loving to one another. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. I want to read to you, a verse from the famous, iconic song, America the Beautiful, which says, "America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea." That right there is just, it's awesome. It's wonderful. It speaks to our heart, and it tells me, I think the United States of America would be a much more thriving place to live. It would just be, I don't know. Do you guys think that, yeah, of course, America is still, the best place to live in the world. You may disagree with me. Many of you might. You may say, oh, well, it's Canada, it's Europe, Japan, who knows where. That's fine. I've never lived in those places. I visited Canada, and stuff, but I've never lived in those places, so I don't know. But from what I do know, from what I've heard from other people, is that America is one of the greatest places. We're the heart of freedom in the world, and I think we need to start making a difference, and I think it comes down to Christians. So what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to make America nice again? I think it's gonna take a combined effort by all Christians and churches in the United States. I don't think we can do it on our own. I think right now, church attendance is very low throughout the United States. And another thing I've noticed is that churches are very very divided, I guess you would say. I mean, each church seems to be out for themselves and not willing to work with other churches in, that maybe, maybe their religion, maybe the belief system is slightly different. But I think churches need to come together. I'm not saying that we all have to believe the same way or anything like that. I'm just saying churches need to come together with regards to trying to help make America nicer again. I want to read to you from the ChristianPost.com a passage from a pastor named Ronnie Floyd. He writes, "The entire Church of Jesus Christ in our nation needs to convictionally come together in unified prevailing prayer for the next great move of God in America. There is no greater need in America. What will it take to wake us up? Die to ourselves and come together under the banner of the cross? There is no great movement of God that has ever occurred that does not begin with the extraordinary prayer of God's people. Regardless of our denominational identity or independence, the time is now for us to come together before God in clear agreement, visible union, and extraordinary prayer for the next great move of God that will catapult us into reaching the world with the life-changing message of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I believe that unified prevailing prayer will lead to these results." And I completely agree. We need to come together. And so why do we need to make America nice again? Maybe some of you think, I like America just the way it is. Well, that's fine, but wouldn't you want it to be better? I mean, is it killing us by not being nicer? Yes, it actually is. 647,000 Americans die from heart disease each and every year. Think about that. Think about that. 647,000 Americans die from heart disease each year. It's the number one killer in America. And believe it or not, kindness can help lower blood pressure. Just the act of kindness. If America as a whole could be kinder, it could change that number. It could radically change the fabric of our society. Let me read. I'm reading to you an article from AIFC.com.au. It's from the positive effects of kindness on our mental health. And it begins, making others feel good with kindness can be really rewarding by making us feel great about our actions as Christians for doing the right thing. Practicing kindness also has a profound effect on our own mental and psychological health, helping us to become happier and compassionate towards others. Being kind to others has been known to help boost our own immune system, slow down aging, elevate our self-esteem, and improve blood pressure. Both practicing and witnessing acts of kindness can help reduce blood pressure by producing oxytocin, known as the love hormone. Oxytocin causes the release of nitric acid in the blood vessels, which effectively expands the blood vessels, thus reducing blood pressure. Self-esteem, a better outlook on life, optimism, and a healthy heart are said to be the benefits of kindness. But it doesn't stop there. Kindness has a positive effect on others that spreads. Kindness is contagious, so we need to exercise kindness. you can, kindness is the cure for heart disease. In some cases it can be. In some cases, blood pressure, and heart disease are caused by our diet, obviously, and our physical, some of it's inherited. But for the most part, kindness in a large percentage of the United States could actually save lives. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your side of the story. Let me move on to where should we be kind? Where should we be kind? Of course, simple answer is we need to be kind everywhere. Kindness has no borders. I think that, some people may think, oh, there's a time and a place. I think that, to be honest, I think we all need to look up from our phones, those cell phones that we can't let go of. I can't even let go of mine. I have this in my hand all the time. I interact with my friends and family, work-related things. But we need to start setting these down. Put them in our pockets. Leave them in a drawer. Leave them in the car. Whatever. We need to start smiling to one another. We need to say hello. Wave to somebody. As Christians, we need to reset the public's way it communicates. But at the same time, we need to also embrace technology and use it to spread kindness. I'm not saying that we need to, kick technology or cell phones out the door, because technology is only going to grow, as the future moves forward. We need to invent creative ways to use technology to spread kindness, but we definitely need to start taking time during the day where we need to just put these phones away, put our computers away, put our tablets away, and start interacting with others. Start looking at people in their eyes. And just a smile can just change the outlook of someone's entire day. And if you really think about that, it's a beautiful thing. I have another article I'd like to read to you. This article is from gulfnews.com. It is from a social media strategist by the name of Farouk Naeem. And then the title of it is, "We are losing out on special moments with family and friends." Evaluating the debate of in-person communication versus text-reliant communication, Farouk Naeem, social media strategist and tech influencer based in Abu Dhabi, told Gulf News, "This new trend has certainly affected time spent with others. I can definitely say that we are losing out more and more on those special moments with our family and friends where we could be looking into each other's eyes, walking hand in hand, soaking in the weather, but we are busy texting and catching up on social media notifications." He pointed out that more we are busy communicating through a screen, the more affected our ability will be to have great... let me repeat that. He pointed out that the more we are busy communicating through a screen, the more affected our ability will be to have great in-person conversation. I think emojis make it really easy for us to respond to people without having to weigh in our words and sentences. And with that ease may come a reluctance to take the time to be more expressive when one speaks and writes, said Naeem. However, he pointed out that for introverts like himself, who feel it is easier to communicate through writing or messaging than face-to-face dialogue, text communication might actually open up many doors. I don't necessarily see social media use affecting human interaction negatively. So many conversations that I might not have had the chance to make face-to-face, I easily make using social media, he said. Naeem highlighted that with the presence of social media in our everyday life, people do meet less in person and interact more through technology. A quiet person like me can have more than 50,000 followers on social media, including very meaningful and deep relationships that go beyond languages, cultures, and geographical boundaries. On the flip side, with more local and global business connections and personal relationships online, many of us see less time available to be devoted to events requiring us to travel to places and meet and interact with people face to face, he said. The effects of our reliance on social media are increasing and at times are bordering on addiction, he said. Naeem explains it is getting harder for people to put their phones and devices aside and be in the moment with their loved ones. Being a heavy user of social media myself, I was shocked to see little children in a park with trees, slides, and swings sitting on a bench glued to their phones. I think as families and communities, we need to create times and days where we consciously create gadget-free activities for our family and friends and re-engage face-to-face, he said. Wow. I think he said it all. I mean, he spoke. I agree with him. I mean, I completely agree with him, and I can't see how. I mean, if you disagree with that, if you think that we aren't using, our phones too much, and that less physical face-to-face communication is not hurting our nation, I would love to know why. Tell me in the comments below. So, last but not least, I wanna speak on when should we spread kindness? This is being kind can be timely or spontaneous. It all depends on the act. It depends on the moment. It's important that when you do present a kind gesture, that it's not shallow. It's not generic or focused on bringing attention to yourself. You want to be specific to the person's needs and focus on that person specifically. And I have a couple of quotes here I'd like to read to you. The first one is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It reads, "You cannot do a kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late." The late Princess Diana wrote, "Carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you." Dietrich Bonhoeffer wrote, "We must learn to regard people less in the light of what they do or omit to do, and more in the light of what they suffer." And I'd like to read a story to you from the website kindspring.org, and it is called Caring Enough to Help a Stranger by Emmanuel. I remember an incident from when I was visiting the United States. I was in Los Angeles in a big store. Everyone was busily buzzing around like bees doing their errands, and no one really paid attention to the other people around them. As I was going around this big shop, I saw a woman standing. She seemed to be in real pain. She was holding onto her belly, and everyone around her passed her by without even noticing. I walked up to her and asked her what was wrong, but she didn't know. I tried to spot a chair or anything she could sit on and helped her walk to it. Trying to get someone from the shop so we could call for some help was not an easy thing to do, as no one seemed to care. Finally, I got mad and demanded that someone call an ambulance, and finally they did it. All along, this woman was thanking me. But honestly, I thought it was only natural to help someone in dire straits, and it made me ponder, how much indifference can we put up with? Acting kind is no big deal if you see other people as an extension of you. You could be them and they could be you. Nothing separates the hearts, just the illusion of the minds. I truly pray for a better world, and I hope there will I hope there will come a day when human beings will truly be brothers and sisters and care for one another, regardless of their wealth, color, religion, or age. Again, that story says it all. Exactly what we need to do. I mean, we need to start spreading more kindness in the United States. You know, I just wish all of you would really consider doing a little more to be kind. And maybe you are the kindest person in the world, and maybe you already do take the time to be kind. Well, let's spread the news. Let's try to help others to be kind. It's not enough for just we have to be this wonderful kind infection on the world, on the United States. And if we get the United States, you know, to be this nice, powerful, you know, wonderful, kind nation, we'll infect the rest of the world with it. I'd like to come full circle and read you Ephesians 4:31-32 yet again, and end it with this. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ also has forgiven you. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.